guys, how's it going? I hope y'all had an awesome Thanksgiving. We are kind of at the, semi-tail end of the Thanksgiving weekend, and I hope you guys had an awesome time. Ate a lot of really good food, maybe had some fun with some family, friends, maybe it was a smaller group, but either way, I hope it was awesome. Welcome to those of you who are new to our craft crate, our monthly craft crate group. I'm super excited. We're going to make some really fun things tonight. Today we're gonna do our Christmas tree and our tag, and we will then do the mason jar at another time. But we're gonna space it out for you guys so that there's, we get a lot done, but it's not overwhelming. And I'm just gonna walk you guys through the steps. So what you will want to have out are the colors of paint that you wish to paint everything. I am going to paint my block white. I have a gray paint. I have, for the Mary, I'm going to paint my Mary gray. I like to put my paint on foil and just kind of give a little bit here because it's just easier for me and not have to have stuff everywhere, constantly opening, closing bottles, squeezing things out. If I need more, I can add it right there. It's quick and easy cleanup. So you might want to have your foil ready, your paint colors on there. I have my sponge and my stencils are here as well. My transfer tape is a little different only because I'm reusing transfer tape. You guys know I like to reuse as much as I can, as often as I can. So I have that all here as well, because I didn't really need to take that off. I also have my tree, let's see, my stand for the tree. I do have my paintbrush, my star, and my pom-poms. So hopefully that is everything that you guys have. I hope that you guys had a good surprise for those of you who are local, and when you picked up your craft crate. So those of you who have, because we still have quite a few here, because I know a lot of you are out of town, no big deal. But pause in just a second on that. I'm going to go ahead and get started so that we can get moving, but I'm going to actually paint my stand white and my tag white. So anyways, I hope you guys, those of you who have come, it was a fun, happy surprise. I actually kind of did your craft crates a little bit different, so I'm sorry if I'm spoiling the surprise a little bit for those of you who have not picked them up. But I decided for my locals, just because it was easy to do, instead of putting them in a box this month, I went ahead and put them in a little gift bag. I thought it would be kind of fun start to the holiday season for you and maybe have a gift. And I got a couple of messages over the weekend. They're like, I see my name, I want to make sure it had craft crate on it, but and a couple of you were like, the tissue paper was so cute. And guys, that's actually what started the whole thing. Was I found the tissue paper at Walmart, of all places. I was there looking for something. I think it was more burlap ribbon, because I totally scored on the burlap ribbon last year or the year before there. And I don't know. I went back and that's what I was looking for, because I had a couple of the porch signs to make, and the porch sign, oh, I just got green paint. I knew I was going to do that. Porch signs that I was making had the burlap bow on them. So don't do what I just did and dip your thing in another color of paint. No big deal. So so I hope that was kind of a fun thing that you guys liked. I haven't heard any complaints, so that's good, and I won't probably do it often unless you guys prefer that for my locals. And if you do, please let me know. Cost wise for me, honestly, it's about the same, believe it or not. You would think bags would be cheaper. I just really want to get that green paint than boxes, but really not. About the same. So I usually put down, well, I try to remember to put down something on my table, but I didn't this time because we literally are just getting in the door and probably going to be a little busy and loud, pulling out some Christmas and getting the outdoor. I think they're going to start the outdoor area tonight, Freddie and the boys. But we had kind of a crazy drive home, I guess you could call it, and left my car. We went to actually go see family. We ended up doing our absolute best to kind of quarantine ourselves for 2 weeks before going so that we could see the cousins and the grandparents. We just really felt like we needed to get away. It's kind of like driving, and I was like, we drove separate because Freddie had a nativity scene to build, a couple of them to build for some family, and so Cole drove me, and I was like, we were maybe to Petersburg, and I was like, so Cole, what do you think it's like out here? We really haven't been, you know, outside of our house much at all. It's kind of been crazy, but it was really awesome just to kind of to get away and just spend some time with family who also works from home. Kids are virtual in school, all three of them, and so it worked out, and it was the best weekend. We really just needed a minute to get away. I can't say I didn't work. If you saw some of my posts, I had my niece actually, she was so excited to help me, and so we had some fun with that. All right, so my block is done, and this, I don't think I'm going to do a second coat. I like it. It is done with the chalk paint that I do prefer, which is the Deco Art. I actually am going to be able to try another chalk paint here in the next couple of days that somebody is sending me in one of the groups that I'm in, and I'm really excited to try that because she said that the Deco Art is what she used to use, and then she found this other company. And usually the other companies, like, they won't sell to you at a discount because I don't have a storefront, but she said that they will, so I'm excited to try a little bit of a sample of this. But that's coming because you guys know how the struggle has been for chalk paint lately. It's definitely coming back, but it's slowly, and it's time for me to kind of venture out anyways, because a lot of the colors I was buying have been discontinued, or they're not as easy to find, and I'm thinking about it for a while, so hopefully I will enjoy using this sample that she sends, and it will all work out. I have no idea how much it costs. It might be more, but we'll see. We'll check it out. So as you can see, I am literally just sponging the paint on this tag here. And you can do as many coats as you need to. If you're using an acrylic paint, you probably will need to do 3 or 4 coats, just because it doesn't cover as much as a chalk paint. This one here is for my mom. It's a little bit different. This is all like reclaimed. This one, yours is not. So it actually has like a black on the back. So I'm just going to cover it up for her as well. It's going to take probably take 2, maybe 3 coats just to cover up that black, but that's okay. No big deal. Some patience. So the front's almost dry already. It's not quite there, and the block isn't quite there. So I do have my dryer here. This is the one that I have been using often. I prefer this one. I can't always seem to find it. I don't know why. I seem to always find a better place to organize it for whatever reason. I need to really just find a better home and remember where I put it. But here we go. I'm just going to dry it really quick so that it is nice and dry for me. feels pretty good. I'm just gonna let it sit for a minute or so while I paint my Christmas tree. So I have my tree here. And, well, I mean, since I keep going for the green anyways, I might as well just go ahead, let I do that. And do the green. So the green, this is an acrylic paint. I haven't really ever found a really good green chalk paint. So we'll give it a whirl and see, but I have a feeling it is going to take a couple of coats to cover. The one thing that I did do with this in the sample that you probably may have noticed, that this green is a little bit darker, and that's because I mixed my colors. So what I did was I went over it like so, and then I took a little bit of a green, a little bit of white paint, and I just kind of went over it. Now, I decided to do it this way versus mixing it all together, because I kind of was okay with having like a little bit of definition to it. I thought that it looked kind of cool. So that's up to you to do. If you purchase paint from me, you're gonna probably notice that yours is not totally mixed, and that's why. So I did add a little bit of white into it, and I didn't full on mix it. So no, I didn't make a mistake or anything. I left it like that on purpose. Now, if you do not like, no, because you're gonna get a haircut. Oh. Just wait a minute. If you do not like that, like, unmixed, like, look, as you can see, it has like a little bit of definition to it, then mix yours if you got the paint from me. Just mix it up. You can use like the back of your paintbrush, like the plastic part, and just kind of mix it all up in your little container. Okay. All right, so I chose to paint the sides. If you are choosing to maybe do your Christmas tree double-sided, reversible, then just maybe think about what color you're going to add on it on the other side, because if you're going to do like a white or a blue, you might not want to paint the sides green. You may want to paint it like a blue or a white or something completely different. You could even do, I don't know, whatever color you're thinking about doing. So just a thought on that, because when we did the live during the launch and I did the back side of them, some of them were like, I don't know if I would have done it that way, because I didn't really think about it. When I was making it, I was thinking about making this. So, all right, that is done. I'm going to set that to the side to dry. And here for a second. Hey, Connor, do you mind grabbing Mommy a wet paper towel, please? I always forget, don't I? Every time I forget. So the next thing I'm going to actually do, because I'm afraid to touch anything right now, is bring over my block, and I'm going to do the Mary.
How wet?
Like not dripping,
okay,
but fairly wet. And I'm just going to pick its best side. I haven't weeded mine, but I really went ahead and weeded a lot of your stuff, and the only reason why is because I've been really having, well, I know last month, a couple of reasons why. Last month we had it was kind of hard to see some of it, and so thank you, but I went ahead and just so you didn't have a hard time seeing where it needed to be weeded, I did that. Also, the letters are so small that I knew you weren't really going to be able to use these again anyways, like the stencils. They just, when the letters are that tiny, they don't do well with using the double, the negative and positive. And last, I blew up one of my Cricuts. It just is not working anymore. It won't even turn on. I completely killed it. I always have a backup, and my backup is kind of not acting the greatest right now, so I'm nervous about that. So I know I need to get another one, but I'm really hoping I don't have to do it right before Christmas because, well, it's just another expense that I'd like to kind of get through the first of the year. And I kind of have missed a lot of, they really weren't on sale for Black Friday or anything. I did look, but it's been really weird, and I'm not 100% sure that it's not a software issue, so I actually put in a ticket and hope that I can work with the tech department, because it's really weird. It'll cut like part of a word. Like for Mary, it'll cut like the RRY, but it won't cut the ME. It just scores it. It's like the craziest thing, so I can't figure it out. I even had Freddie look at it and we have no idea. Couldn't find anything online about it or anything, so kind of frustrating. And so I went ahead and weeded everything that, you know, I was nervous about, that I thought maybe I couldn't tell if it had cut through or not all the way. And I just didn't want to have any frustration on your end, because I didn't want to give you something that wasn't going to work. So, because that's annoying when it doesn't. So what I've done, if you haven't done this before, I'm sorry, I was too busy chatting. Your letter should already be out. So what I did was I peeled off the back of my stencil, so that's gone. And before peeling off the back, I put the transfer paper on top of the stencil. Then I peeled off the back. And now I have the stencil, and the top of the stencil is, which is not sticky, but the top of it is stuck to the sticky side of the transfer tape. Okay, that's sticky. And then this here is sticky. So what we're gonna do is put it on our block. And you're just gonna kind of eyeball it. Doesn't have to be completely perfectly straight. I'm going to move mine down just a hair. So here it is. I'm just pushing it on nice and hard. Make sure it's really stuck on there. You see that there? Kind of. There you go. So one thing is, you need to make sure that your paint is dry underneath. If it's cold, it's probably not completely dry. So take a blow dryer, or I have that thing, it's like an embossing heater thingy, so it gets really hot. So you'll want to make sure that it is dry. Okay, and if it's not, just pause and you can come back to this or just watch it, and then you'll know what to do when you get started. So my stencil, what I did was I took off my transfer tape, and I have my stencil on here. What I'm now going to do is grab, I'm still wet. I'm going to grab my sponge here, okay, and I'm going to dip it in my white paint. Just have a little bit of white paint there, and I'm going to go over top of my stencil, but just the letters that we are going to paint, not the outside of the stencil or the rest of the block. Because when we do that, it's like it creates another layer of it, and you will see like the rectangle part. Okay, so here is my stencil. I have painted, look at this lighting in here, it's so bright, but it's awful today the way that the sun's coming in. I actually didn't look half bad before we got started. There we go. So you can't maybe see it very well, but I painted the letters, and I'm just going to set it to the side and let it dry. The reason why we do that is because it makes the paint, it gives it like a barrier. So it allows it to, or it stops it from bleeding. So when we go ahead and we paint it, whatever color you choose to paint it, it will help with the bleeding. If you've ever done a paint with a stencil before and like the color has kind of like squished out and you don't have those really nice straight lines, that's why. And so we're just going to try everything in our power at this point to not let that happen, and create that barrier so it can't really slip underneath it. So you do definitely want to use, like, be generous with your paint, but you don't have to like use, I mean, a crap ton of paint where it's going to be like squishing out everywhere. But you need to, you want to do it just around the edges and all, just so that it will have that barrier. Make sure if I can see. Sorry, all the things are happening and going off right now. Let's see here. All right, so I haven't yet weeded mine, so just bear with me for a second. Hi. And make my little pile here. So now I am grabbing my stencil. Oops. And this is a perfect example of what I was talking about with my darn Cricut. It would not cut the bright, but it cut the Mary and. So, and it cut like part of the bright, but what I ended up doing was I just cut the bright off and recut that part separate. So I didn't do that for you guys, don't worry. But here I go. I'm just going to, so what I did was I put my stencil and I stuck it onto the transfer tape. Okay. Now I'm going to peel off the back side. And maybe sometimes if you peel it, you might have some pieces come off and not want to stick. So I just kind of use my finger, stick it down, and sometimes I bend the backing on it. There we go. And I am going to then put my stencil on top of my tag. Peeling off my transfer tape. And here's the deal, guys. I'm literally like rolling it off, okay? Because that way, I don't lift the stencil up with it. I just literally lost my bright. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna do that next. Hey. How'd it go?
Good. Your pile ran too long.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Holy cow, I can't wait to hear all about it. Okay, so now I'm just peeling off the back again. And let's see. My B and my R didn't want to, the inside of them didn't really want to stay down. Okay, so now I'm just going to put bright on. Nice and firm on there. Putting that to the side. Grab my X-Acto and move my R and my B. Just didn't quite go exactly where I wanted them to. Okay, so once again, we're going to do the same thing as we did with the other, and we are going to take the white over top of the stencil. And you always do, you don't always do white, but you do whatever color it is on the base color, you do the same one. Because, like I said, that is the barrier. So if that, it kind of stops the paint that's going to go on top from squishing out the sides, and just give it that cleaner look. If that makes any sense. You'll see it. It'll make much more sense when we pull everything up and you kind of see it. It'll give you that oh moment. So, but I thought this would be kind of a fun month for you guys. these trees, oh my gosh, I have been like just chomping at the bits to get these trees done. They were one of the very first items that I came up with, and really excited about them. They turned out really cute as well. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is I'm going to paint my Mary, okay? So I am going to paint it with gray, and I'm just going to dab my sponge over top of it. You don't always have to dab it because you have already done like your the white, but for any time I'm in question or I'm really trying hard to keep something nice and crispy, like dabbing is always better than dragging. It's like when you put on your makeup as well. I find we always say dab it on with your finger versus smear it on, because it just pulls a lot of the product off, and the dabbing will always give it just a crispier line. So we're gonna take all the time to do this. Let's just do the best that we can with making it look as good as we can, right? And this isn't a huge thing to be dabbing, so it won't take that much time extra, or that won't take that much longer, I should say. So if you guys saw also in your craft crate this month, I did kind of a fun little contest for you guys to fill in those squares, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think of that. I've had some feedback from my finished gals, and they were pretty excited to start posting some pictures. Do like openings and stories and things, because hey, it's always fun to get something freebie or even at a discount. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you take a moment to do that. You know, we're just trying to get the word out and tell your friends and family and show them how much fun we all have together and how much you're learning. It's really fun to see how like, I don't know what the word is, how I'm trying to say, how improved everybody gets, like month after month. Like, it's so awesome to see. Not that they ever weren't good in the beginning, but man, some of you guys put me to shame at times. I'm like, wow, that looks awesome. So my Mary is done. I just sponged it on there. You can't really see it right now. It's like a rain cloud. And we're gonna set that aside to dry for a few minutes. While my Mary Bright is almost dry, but while that's finishing, I'm gonna go ahead and do my polka dots here. So I decided to do just like some dots on my Christmas tree random. And what I have found works really good anytime I'm doing like a smaller dot is literally dipping my paintbrush end into my paint and just dabbing it on. Kind of fun. So I am going to leave my red out because I'm going to need it in a second for my Merry and Bright. And clean this off a little bit. So that, 1 second. Sorry guys. I'm texting me really quick. Can't find the Christmas lights. I know they're in the garage. Don't you love it? I know they're in the garage. And it's just not me seeing them. Alright, I'm just going to dry this up really quick. All right, so with my Merry and Bright, the Merry and Bright were black. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and for this, I'm actually going to use my brush, and I am gonna dab it on. And just dab it right over, you know, my letters. So have you guys been doing any major Christmas shopping this weekend? Black Friday, any of that? Let me know if you find any good deals. Cyber Monday, nothing that we really were looking for seemed to be on sale. I was thinking about doing like a Small Business Saturday, something like that sale, but to be honest, this year we are so busy, which is a blessing. It's amazing that I'm like, I just gotta keep plowing and moving forward on orders right now. We'll have our open house in a couple of weeks, in 2 weeks at the house, and I think we're gonna do it live here, where you can come and shop, and then just do a virtual for everybody who's out of town. Show you all what's left, and then we will do like our gift with purchase, which is always a fun thing. So, but yeah, I just wasn't all that impressed with anything that I saw. I didn't go to any stores this year, but curious if you guys saw anything. I haven't really started anything shopping wise either, so I gotta get on it at some point soon, hopefully sooner than later. I know like the mail is going to be a struggle this year, just because it's been a struggle since April with certain things, and some things just absolutely sit for days for no reason. You pay priority and they don't get there, and they just sit somewhere for a week or two for some reason. No reason for me. I don't always get it, but I guess there's some reason. And so we're trying really hard to figure out, I think we're gonna have to cut off our Christmas shipping sales earlier than ever this year, because although we can get it out, but I am nervous it's not gonna get there in time, and even though it's out of my hands, we always get the brunt of that. So I just don't want anybody's gifts to be late this year if we can't help it. So, all right, that is drying, and I'm going to see. I don't want to put another coat on my Mary. I think it's good, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that off. Just literally, like, I kind of just like help it, kind of like wiggle it off. There we go. That's done. I'm going to grab my little deal here. Scrape off the Mary, and we have our Mary. So that's done, and I think that I'm going to add just, there we go, a little bit more on there, and take this guy off. Hopefully it is good. Go. A pile of stuff over here. This is just like an X-Acto type knife, but if you guys remember, I haven't fixed it. It broke the tip. I broke the tip off somehow. I didn't even think I was doing anything all that exciting, so I think somebody may have helped me get it started with breaking. But it's a total like flat tip right here, and it's worthless for anything sharp, but it is like the best little tool for like adding any lines on something. Like if I've messed up, I can just kind of like paint them in with this guy. And it's nice for weeding, which is currently what I'm doing. I'm just weeding off the letters of that didn't peel off with the stencil. make my pile over here. I am really bad, and sometimes I will walk around and have like little pieces of like an A or something stuck to me. Try to keep my pile going on, keep it all together. So I'm just gonna add. So what I'm doing is I just dipped the edge of this into my black because I feel like there's one section on here that it kind of missed a little bit. There we go. So I have my Marion Bright almost finished. The other thing I'm gonna do is I decided you can see where the little circles are going to go for the holly, and instead of painting that on again, what I'm doing is using the back of my paintbrush, that little plasticky part, and I'm just going to dab or dot, add some dots on there for my holly. And, oops, I forgot a section. I just got black in my hair. Won't be the first time. I don't know if you can see. And I think I'm gonna add an extra one just because, to show you maybe. Right there. And there. See that? It's super easy, right? And it's like just simple. So I use the tools that I have often to make little things like that work. So I also did some dots on my Mary, but I did them very sporadic. Totally up to you if you want to do that or not. And did them a little bit on the randomy side, just no really rhyme or reason. And I added a little heart. All right, so have the little dots there, but I think I went ahead and I added a few extra on the top of a few of them, and I thought that was kind of cute too. So I'm just gonna do that with this one as well. There we go. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of green. So I have a bit of like a foresty type green here as well. And that is going to go on the tree. And these, I made these just a little bit bigger, tad bit bigger, not really big, but just for something different. But you do you, and that's the fun thing about these. This is why I just really wanted to give you guys like the base and some ideas as far as what you could do. And that is, I absolutely love, love, love about these craft crates is seeing how different everybody creates theirs. And that's the point of it. I just, you know, you can totally do what I do, but you may not like at all what I've done, and that's okay. And that may not fit your decor or what you're planning to do or what, and that's the cool thing about it. So, and that's why I also love, love, love to see them, because I feel like it gives everybody a lot of ideas as far as like, oh, well, I like how she did, you know, that color, but I also want to add this color in there as well. So you have some twine for your tag, and you also have a bow, a ribbon, I'm sorry, where you can make a bow wherever you'd like to. I think I forgot to bring down my ribbon. I had just run upstairs and put everything away and forgot to bring that one item. So our tag is done, our base is done, and now we have our tree. I have not completely, mine is not 100% dry right here, so I am going to be very careful, but I have my hot glue gun out, and glue go back in there. So I am going to add a little bit of glue onto my star here, and put my glue on the, or my star on the top of my tree. Just hold it there for a second so I know that it's definitely dry. So there is that. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is grab my pom-poms. If you choose to use your pom-poms, by all means use them, and if not, use them on something else or not at all. You're not a fan of pom-poms. I'm gonna actually dry this up really quick. Only because the bottom, I have a couple of polka dotties down here, and they're right where I'm going to be gluing, and so I might as well just dry it all up really quick. Alright, so did it fall out again? Holy cow, this thing does not want to stay in there, does it? Like, no, I do not want to melt. Alright, so I am just going to put a little bit of glue in the corner here. Adding a little bit more glue, and I'm literally just going right on the edge, and I'm pulling my pom-pom all the way to the end. And watch your fingers, of course. I love you. You just want to make sure it's on there really good. My phone is just blowing up. I'm going to trim my piece just a hair. Next, I'm going to grab this thing here. Oh man, is this one of the big ones? May have grabbed the wrong size. Shoot. There are a couple of different sizes that there we go. Okay, so it should fit in it. It should be pretty snug. Freddie made these, so he drilled every single hole in here, cut all of the stick thingies, so, and it just slides right on for you. So the thing is you can leave it like this when you store it, or you can just take it apart and make it easy, smaller, more compact for your storage. Don't forget, you can always do the back side. I'm being a little careful because my fingers are kind of not the cleanest. You can always do the back side, you guys. And if you didn't see me do the back side of the trees, I don't have one within reach, I don't think, down here. I did the reverse on a live during our launch, so go to like the main page and scroll through a little bit and you will find that. And we Mod Podged 2 of them, and then we painted 1 of them just for something fun and different so that you can use them throughout the winter season. If you upgraded and maybe you have the ultimate package, you have all 3, you will do the exact same process on each of these, on each of the trees. You know what? Hang on one second. Let me grab my trees so that you can see. Okay, so here is my Mary. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Our little hearts on there. The back side I did for this one is just a little, it is paper, and you can go back and watch it. I think the video is a little bit better. This lighting today is just awful. And it's paper that I Mod Podged on the back side of that. So there's my winter, and here is my Christmas. This guy, the peace guy, I ended up leaving, I'm probably going to leave him for Christmas and then just do this for winter. So have nothing here on the back. I just think that will be good. Be good to go. He is missing the star though. He took a tumble from like the shelf above my washer and dryer in here, which is really high. And I was actually quite excited that it was just the star that came off. Now, if you did, like I said, the upgraded, and you have your flowers, the only thing that you're going to do with these guys is you're going to glue them on. And that is it. And you can glue the little tiny pom-poms inside, and you can glue also your petals. Okay, so this guy I did a Mod Podge as well with paper, and I added a little bit of an embellishment on the back. They're almost like little sparklies, I guess, and they kind of just look like little glittery snowflakes on there. And then I put a little piece of baker's twine on there. And I also, after the fact of everything, I went through with a little bit of sandpaper, and I decided to just sand a little bit of mine. Because of where they're going, it's kind of a little bit more of a rustic area in my house, and so I went ahead and did that. So I hope that you guys had a ton of fun, and I can't wait to see all that you guys do. But before we go, really quick, I forgot. I have little hearts that I never added on this one. So this is just my paint pen. As you guys know, my favorite brand is the Posca brand. I think there is a link of some of the things that I recommend on our group page. And I like these because they have a ton of paint and pigment, and they do very well. And they have more of a, they have a thin tip to choose from and a thick tip to choose from. And I did put a little link for, I think it links you to like our Amazon, my Amazon favorites. And those are just some supplies that I love and recommend, and I got mine from that link exactly, because there's a lot of different places to purchase them from on there, and I had no issues with mine. So if I have a link that I know I'm good with and it works for you guys, then I just share that with you. Okay, so, oh, so thirsty. I don't know, I've been eating Thanksgiving dinner for 2 days and it's just so salty or something. 'Cause I'm so thirsty. Let's see, so I'm just gonna put this on here. Bada boom, bada bang, there we go. And there it is. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, just reach out and I will help you the best that I can. Hopefully between the instructions and the walkthrough, you're good to go. If you have any questions, reach out, put something in the group. You may have a question that somebody else can even answer. But more than anything, I want you to have fun, and I definitely want to see what you end up doing with yours, because it's fun to see how everybody has their own individual look and colors and style, and then how you decorate them. So please share. It makes it so much fun to see, and I just hope you guys like kick off your holiday season with so much joy. And it's been a long year, and I just hope you enjoy it and can stop and look at the pretty twinkling lights and, you know, be grateful for everything that we have. And I know a lot of people are going without, but hopefully everybody here is good and we can help a friend, and if anything, we can help each other by crafting and getting through it and having a good time, and also bringing your kids, involving your kids with it as well. Our little kiddo craft crate was an absolute hit. I'm so excited that there are so many kids out there that are going to be doing their Santa and their North Pole house as well, and it really was fun to see. However, we shipped out so many of those and had so many people come by and pick them up, so I can't wait to see those as well. But I just hope that you guys can really enjoy this holiday season, and thank you so much for getting on here and joining me, and just letting us help you guys check off your Christmas lists. And don't forget about the little thing that I put in there for you guys in your craft crate. Start checking everything off for your prize. So, all right, guys, have a good night, and I will catch up with you later. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving weekend, and we will see you on Wednesday.